the fight. We had Smith and Fowler. We also had sandwiched in between that. We had Pat Barrett put on a show, Rumble in Brayton, small hole show. You two featured on it. First of all, I'm going to ask Tom. Tom, how was it for you?
Yeah, it was a great show. I mean, it's first one doing it with Jack, and I've been lucky to have Pat Barrett's been getting us out like quite frequently. So it was a great show on the night. It was in Newcastle, which is like our dad's hometown. So it was good to get on the same show. You know, big thanks to Pat for putting us on. We put on 2 good performances. Jack ended up like getting stoppage, and mine went the distance. So yeah, it was a really good night of boxing. And it was a top show.
Yeah, so Jack, I want people to understand that small hall shows are the lifeblood of boxing. I don't think people understand how hard it is to put on a small hall show without TV backing, especially in a pandemic. And what Pat's doing is what he's doing is pretty special because not only is he a trainer, he's a promoter. So he's not doing it for the money. Let's get it right, because you don't make money at first. You know, you're lucky to break even. So he's not doing it for the money. What he's doing it is to provide the platform for his fighters to go through the levels. And Jack, you're 15-0, aren't you?
Yeah.
15-0. Going through the levels on these small hall shows, how much of a benefit is it to you?
Yeah, it's to get you up there for when you're on the big stage. You know, it's your apprenticeship, innit? You know, before you become a manager. And
yeah,
you know,
it's true.
It's a shame to, you know, with what Pat's doing, it's a shame to be called in, you know, them shows. What if I started off on them small old shows like that? You're in the right place, you know. I've done your sports halls, you know, to call them small low shows. It's, you know, not disrespect, but the massive shows for a small low show, you know, they're perfectly set up, they're properly run, you know, and everything runs smoothly. So, you know, Pat's doing a brilliant job, and like I said, the platform for his fighters, making no money, you know, and getting his lads out there on them so-called small shows, you know, living the dream.
Yeah, to be fair, when I say small hall shows, it's not like how it was back in the day, where it'd be in a gymnasium with five people and a basketball net behind you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, with same day weigh-ins.
It's same day weigh-ins. It's like the production of it is, when I say small hall show, the quality of the production, to the ring entrances, to the stream, and the most important thing is it's free for people to watch. That is is one of the best things about these. You're getting exposure. Where if you look at a lot of stables, a lot of UK promoters, they're not doing. They're putting on fighters on other shows, and sometimes they're in. I know people are fighting in Belgium, fighting in Spain, and you've got to pay $5 or $10 to watch that fight. With Black Flash, you can watch it on their YouTube channel, and it's gaining that fan base. Now, I'm going to be honest. I watched I watched your fights before. I watched it live anyway, but I watched it again. And to be honest, I had to turn my TV down with the noise I could hear. I was surprised in Newcastle as well. These Oldham fans were making a bit of a noise, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they always do.
Yeah.
Luckily, we've got like really good backing in Oldham.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a great turnout.
We've got a good thing going with like 2 brothers, and you know we're growing. I mean, we're putting everything into boxing, me and Jack, and we've got sort of our own path. He's at his gym, you know, I'm at my gym, and we can't fault the fans. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it is a business, and these promoters, unfortunately, want, you know, people who can sell tickets and people who can, you know, sell their shows. So that's what, you know, we're just growing, like as 2 brothers, live from Shaw, Manchester, and I mean, we sold like 200 tickets in Newcastle, which is like 2.5 hours away.
I know.
So, you know, you can't fault it, and we're blessed with good support from friends and family. So yeah, we're loving it.
Jack, I want to ask you, because it is pretty rare for 2 brothers to live in the same city, but you actually fight at different gyms, as Tom just said. You fight, is it the finest boxing gym, Steve Mailer's?
Yeah, the finest with Steve Mailer, yeah.
You're Steve Mailer, and Tom is with Fight Factory with Sean Crawley. How does that come about, Jack? How did you end up? I presume when you were younger, you trained together in the same gyms.
Yeah,
or how's that come about?
Together, yeah. I think Tom had a break, and I turned professional before him. You know, I was at Ben Lancaster before that, and I needed a move. and moved to Steve's. You know, Tom wasn't boxing then. I've settled in at Steve's, I think.
Yeah.
And Tom realised, you know, that he wanted to do boxing. Then I didn't think. And Tom found his own path. Do you know what I mean? Like I found my path with Steve. Tom found his path, and you know, and it's obviously working. Yeah.
How long have you been at Steve's gym? How long
I've
has it
been
been?
there 3 years.
3 years. So obviously they've
3
had
years.
Terry Flanagan world champion. So I mean, that's the
Yeah,
you can't
world
do better than that.
champion,
Than bringing a world champion through. Do you ever see just Terry still?
No,
Obviously
he
you'll
just
see him in the
fought for the
gym.
British
And,
against David Avenesian, fought for
yeah,
for the European, he's fought for the British, you know, not that, with Steve's knowledge as well. You know, it's an unbelievable gym, great atmosphere and great training partners.
What's the thing? What's the kind of style that Steve teaches? Is it one fits for all, or does he teach you all different styles?
No, definitely not. I think Steve, everyone's got their own style. So he lets, obviously I got into Steve's gym, he's seen what I did well, and then tweaked that a little bit. He said, I don't want to change someone too much if they don't know what they're doing with it, you know. So he's let me do my own style, corrected it a little bit, and threw in other things. And you know, obviously, learning on things every month as the months go by, years going on, you know, progressing. You know, as long as I'm getting better every time, you know, that's the main thing.
So your last fight last week, as we alluded to before, the Rumble in Raton, bit of confusion, wasn't there? Because you stopped your opponent. First of all, the opponent, obviously they're not going to have running records, but I think he was only stopped 3 times in 35.
Yeah.
Out of 34 losses, 3 times he was stopped prior to you stopping him. So getting that is, it's no easy feat to defeat a journeyman like that. What happened at the end of the fight, though? I know the towel was thrown in, and then the referee just ignored it, basically, and then let it go on for
Yeah,
another round,
I
then stopped it.
knew that when I had an interview, you know,
Yeah. Did you not know?
I only knew that when you lost me there.
Sorry, mate.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know until that, you know, then obviously I watched it back and I seen the towel. I didn't think the referee knew as well. I think it just, you know, went past his provisional vision and hit his foot, you know, and didn't see it and seen it at the end and flicked it out, which was a bit of a bizarre scenario.
So you never saw it as well? You didn't actually have a clue, you were just throwing punches?
I never saw it either, no, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. So that was a good result to stop that, guys. That give you a bit of confidence?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And it's not like it's the main thing is I did in the fight the things I've been learning in the gym, and you know that's the main thing. I've learned off it. Like I said, it wasn't a winning record the guy had, but he don't get stopped like that. So I can take confidence from that. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Right, Tom, I want to know your 3 year. You had 3 years away from boxing. Now, tell me why and how did that come about?
Well, at the time, I wasn't actually enjoying boxing. I don't think it was right for me. And next thing, it's a funny story really, because I was miles away from boxing, but my girlfriend who I was with, like, she actually went on like to some contraception, you know, like to stop having like babies. Next thing, she ended up pregnant. So I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, wow. And I said to my dad, I was working with my dad at the time, and I was like, Dad, look, I don't want to work away anymore, because a lot of his work, he's working away. So like, I want to work, you know, like closer. And then I got knocked back from a couple of jobs.
What did your dad do? Sorry,
just in construction, and then I got my site manager's license, and then I got knocked back from 2 jobs, and I was like, and then my dad said, well, why don't you just go down and see Sean for a week? Just go. And I was like, okay, I don't want to go and see Sean for a week, but I bit the bullet and I went and seen him for a week. And then, honestly, I've never looked back. It was mad. I went to Sean's, and then I started boxing again, started absolutely loving it. And then that was it then. And obviously now I've had my lad, and, you know, I've got another on the way, and it's just, it was mad how it happened, really. It was just crazy. But it was, I mean, I fitted in really good as well with Sean, and, you know, like me and Jack not training together, like, probably get on each other's nerves a little bit if you did train together all the time as well. So, you know, we can just have that brothers relationship. out
Yeah.
of the gym, and then we both can go on with our careers. And then obviously Jack's got a lot of experience as well. I mean, he's had 15 fights, and
Yeah.
like I've been able to learn a lot of Jack as well. So it's been good for him to teach that me at the start of my career as well. So it's worked out really nice, to be honest.
So Sean Crawl is the trainer at Fight Factory. I heard a lot. I don't know him, but a lot of people who speak to say he's a very calm person. Has that sort of calm state about him. Is that true? What is he like as a trainer?
Yeah, I mean, with boxing, I mean, he's calm at times, and then not when he needs to be, sort of thing. But yeah, overall, he's like a calm guy, but he's a serious guy about his boxing. He likes he likes it how it is, and he wants his fighters on it all the time. So it's good, really good.
Right, Jack. Tom told me that when you were younger, you used to get the better of the sparring sessions between you. So he's dropped you a few times in sparring. Is that true?
Yeah. Nah.
Is this not true? This?
No.
Just sorry, Liz.
And like I
Frozen a
will
bit.
have some more sparring sessions in the future either.
I think we stopped sparring at about 11.
When did you start sparring?
I think we sparred a couple of times, and then it just it just didn't end. It just weren't nice, like that brother rivalry. And then I think it was about 11 or 12, and then we just never sparred again.
One
really,
sparring, never ended up.
Because you're taking it home then, aren't you? And then you're just being the nightmare and whatnot.
Would you get in the ring now? Would you a bit of technical spar? Have you ever been? When's the last time you've been in the ring together? That in a training situation, or is that just not because it doesn't happen anymore?
No, over 10 years, I think that.
Really? So it's been a long time. So coming from Oldham, both of you, growing up, what are the fighters you looked up to? Local fighters as well, not just worldwide fighters. Who were the fighters? I'm going to ask you, Jack, first, and Tom. So, Jack, what are the fighters you were looking up to growing up?
Not been, no. Yeah.
Who's that? Sorry, the connection is... Jack, your connection, you need to sort your Wi-Fi out, mate. Tom, I can hear you better in the car.
Probably like Jack Cattrall, fighting.
Yeah. Did you say Jack Cattrall?
Hang on. This better signal over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Cattrall and fighters like that. I've done a lot of sparring with Jack when I was started off in my career.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's people I looked up to. And like
Well,
thinking I'd love to be 15-0 when, before I started. And I think, like once you're there, it's good, yeah.
What about on the worldwide stage? What fighters did you look up to when you 10, 12 years ago?
I think I've always looked up to like Pacquiao, just how he gone through started off with nothing and made himself, one of the best fighters in the world. Started off hard, which I'll be starting off that way. So, I've always looked up to Pacquiao, and I think he's a brilliant fighter. So
15-0 now. 15-0 is a lot different to your brother. Your brother's obviously just starting, coming up. It's 3 years away. He's 1-1, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And 2-0, aren't you, Tom?
Yeah, he's winding up his pair.
I know. I do my research. Don't test me with that. I've done my research. I was just thinking, is it 1-1? No. So
no.
So basically, 15-0. So that you're now at a level where it's a lot of experience. Have 15 fights, but you've got to take into COVID as well, because COVID's obviously 2-year break, really, or year break.
Yeah.
Talk to me about COVID. The first time we were all there when Boris Johnson gave that speech. We're all around the TV. Where were you at that exact time? Were you watching it? Did someone tell you about it?
Yeah, and it's like, before it all started, wherever it was, China or whatever, you're thinking, wow, imagine that over here, and, the months, weeks go by, and next thing it is here, and next thing we're locked down ourselves, and it's like, the shows aren't getting put on, the gyms aren't open. Yeah. It's just like, wow, are we actually this us? It's like what we're only allowed out for an hour for exercise. It's madness. It all started, and like obviously I was on building up some momentum. Then just beat Tom Hill, and I was going to push on for titles. Then this all came about. I had a dodgy hand anyway, so I ended up getting my hand fixed. So that's recently why I've had a couple of 6-rounders, just getting through COVID like everyone else, and I've just recently fighting with a hand operation. So then hopefully be pushing on for titles. This Christmas or maybe early next year.
What were you doing for training? Like, because at one point you couldn't. I mean, you only allowed out your house for an hour at one point. What were you doing? Yeah. What were you doing? How did you compensate for going in the gym? Like, what were you actually doing?
I think for the when my hand wasn't bad, I had a piece of bone tucked in my hip, so I couldn't do much anyway. So I think that's why I utilised the time to get that done. Couldn't do much anyway, so couldn't do much while I had this operation. So it worked out well for me in a way. Then, they let professional athletes train in the gym, so I could go to the gym. And it kind of, as bad as the operation was, it worked out nicely in a way.
It should be fair, yeah. That's for you, for yourself. It's actually not really made that much difference. You got rid of the hand injury, so fair play with that. Tom, in regards to yourself, did you know you were turning pro then? Because I know you had 3 years away. Did you decide then that you were going to fight?
Yeah, well, the pandemic in a way for me, like, because I was at the early stages of like I had a fight between them. I mean, at the start we weren't really allowed to train too much, but then after a bit they said, like, if you are professionals, you could go to the gym. So for me in the lockdown, it was sort of just preparation. And, I was just training. I was probably ready for my debut, like, during the pandemic, but just give me more time to work on stuff, especially with 3 years out and a lot of ring rust. I was just working and going over stuff and sparring and then getting it back. I was working for like 2 years for that debut, and now luckily with Pat, I mean, I'm getting a fight like every month. I had quite a bit when I did get back as well. I had quite a few injuries, and I don't know if it's just because you just go back to boxing, but a few things were pulling, a few things were niggling. So I managed now to just get quite like stable, with my training, with everything. And now luckily with Black Flash, I'm very active. So in a way, it weren't too bad in a way for me, the pandemic, if I'm honest.
Yeah, because do you think it's that because you worked on things more, probably gave you more preparation?
Yeah, because I worked on things, and after 3 years out, you've only ever been an amateur. You're turning over to the pro ranking, so you can't be, you can't be messing about. And I only had, I was only doing 3 rounds, and you go into like the 4. So yeah, in a way, it's sort of, it was. I mean, it weren't obviously brilliant. It weren't brilliant times, but I just used it as, pick the positives out of it really, and just worked on things. And now I just want to get my career kicking on.
So on your fight last week, Lyndon Arthur was commentating on your fight. I know you alluded to it afterwards. In regards to Lyndon, I think Lyndon's one of the, I always say this to him, where whose is that dog there? Is that your dog, Jack?
Oh, they're going mad. They're going to end up outside all night in a minute.
Put him outside for a minute.
Oh.
Right, Tom. Lyndon's just the kind of guy where he's not someone, a man of many words, but when he talks, you listen. You can tell he's a student of the game. Did you listen back to that commentary? Have you picked anything from that?
Yeah, I mean, he said that I was working on, quite a few like nice things and stuff like that. But he is very. I've heard him before in a lot of commentary as well, Lyndon. I mean, he is very knowledgeable, and I think he was saying about like maybe put the jab out a little bit more in, you know, in parts and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it was nice to have someone like of his pedigree commentating on my fight, really.
yeah. So I want to ask you boys, Jack, I'm going to ask you first. The first time, how did you come into contact with Black Flash and Pat Barrett? How did that come about?
I think it mainly come about through, you know, obviously going Pat's for sparring, and Steve knowing Pat and Pat knowing Steve. You know, they've got a good relationship, and obviously was a good ticket seller. You know, Pat helped me, I helped Pat in a way as much as I could. You know, they had a good relationship. Pat's always liked Steve's fighters, entertaining fighters. So I think that's how that's come about.
I think I want to talk about Pat's gym, the Collyhurst and Moston gym. I've been in it the last few weeks, and it's one of those gyms. It's like going back into a time machine. You know, when you go in, it's like being in the 70s. It's literally 100 years old. Nothing's changed. Like, it takes your breath away because it is literally like the floor you're training on is the floor people have trained, the champions have trained on 99 years before, you know, 50 years before. Do you feel that vibe when you go in there?
Yeah, it's rough and ready, isn't it? You know, and that's I think it's all right going to these, you know, high-tech gyms, all this and that, but, you know, that's what boxing is. It's when you're in there and you're getting roughed and, you know, you've got to be ready, you know, and it's good you can feel the environment when you're walking up them stairs, you know, you can sense it as you're going into the sparring, you can sense the attitude of all the boxers, you know, they might be training on the bags, you know, and that's thinking, wow, I'm at a gym here, you know, a proper gym, you know, and that's what you need. Them nerves are good, especially for young fighters.
So true.
The amateurs turning professional, you know, you need them. I think it's good, really good.
Yeah. Tom, do you think the same with that when you walk into the stairs, you walk up the stairs and you go in the gym?
We was going past like for a few weeks of sparring, and he loves that old school, you know, sort of like vibe, and you know, he likes it to be like that. And yeah, of course you can feel it. But you know what? He's got a good set of lads as well, Pat. You know, like the hard working. Pat's, you know, obviously a good coach, and you get good sparring there. Like, I mean, I remember when we was going down, and then, you know, it's tough sparring. It's tough sparring every time, and that's what you need as a boxer, and that's what I think Pat actually promotes as well. Like, as you say, it's like an old school gym, and like you can tell it's working hard, and he likes. But you know what? Boxing's not easy, and he knows that, Pat, and that's what you get when you go down there. So it's really good.
It's like something from Rocky 3, isn't it? You can imagine Apollo's with he drags him in. He says, "You need to go." I think Anthony Joshua could do with going in. You know what I mean? Going into never mind the high tech performance in Sheffield. Get back into the old school gym, the old school way. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Right, music. What music do you listen to when? What's the kind of music do you boys listen to? Do you get pumped up before your fights, training, or just listen to anything?
Well, yeah, listen to anything, you know. But I've done. I think once I've finished a training camp, like I said, music can get you in the mood and that. But you know, once I finish that training camp, I know, you know, I'm ready for anyone. You know, once I'm fit, I'm ready, I'm sharp, I'm strong.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll be ready for anyone that night. But as soon as Sweet Caroline comes on, that's
it. And Tom, I heard you. He's ready to go. Yeah, Tom, I heard you're a Spice Girls fan.
What do you say, Johnny?
Spice Girls fan. I heard you like a bit of the Spice Girls before you come on.
Yeah. Nah, I like a variety of songs, and you know, that gets you in the mood, and I like a few of the oldies, a few of the new ones, and I just like a bit of everything. But same with Jack, really. I mean,
what do you like?
Nothing better than going into that ring knowing you've give it your all. I mean, I remember when the amateur days, and you know, you probably cut corners and this and that, and it makes it hard work on the night. But when you know you've put it all in, then what more could you want?
Yeah, no, completely agree. The screen froze when I mentioned the Spice Girls. I don't know if you clicked me off on purpose. I don't know. I was only joking. But right, guys, before we go, I want to know realistically for the next year. I want to know your goals in boxing, what you want to achieve. I'm going to ask Jack first. What is the main aim in boxing? What are you looking to achieve?
Well, I don't think if I wasn't I wouldn't be a world champion. You know, I wouldn't be happy. You know, I'm out there going out. I am training, going in the gym. You know, I definitely will be a champion. You know, a world champion. You know, one day.
Yep.
You know that's what I want. And I promised my mum that, and you know that's what I will be.
Right, and at your weight as well. You're welterweight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a welterweight. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 10 stone next year. You know, I think I'll be strong. I'll be strong at welterweight, but I'll be strong at 10 stone. Hopefully build a name for myself at 10 stone, maybe 2, 3, 4 years there, you know. And, you know, that then maybe move up a weight to welterweight maybe at the end of my career, or depending on how my career goes. But, yeah, I think I'll be doing that.
Tom, I want to know what your goals for the sport.
I mean, my goals in the sport are definitely like, you know, European world titles. I mean, within a year, I mean, next year, Pat said, basically, you know, don't want no titles. I want you getting learning. I want you, you know, just going over things. So I'm going to go through that. And then after that, I just want to pick titles up after titles, you know, like I just want to stay in the gym, keep my head down, keep training, keep learning off some of the best, and just see where it takes me.
You're both back out next weekend on the show in Liverpool. I know
Jack
you are,
is,
Jack,
and
yeah, just me that, yeah.
Tom, when do you think you'll be back out?
I think we are the 27th of November with Pat again at Oldham.
Right, so Pat's putting on shows literally every week. Next week it's in Liverpool. He's got Commonwealth title fight, super bantamweight, Carly Skelly. Now that for small, I know we call them small hall shows, is serious. It's hard to achieve. To get a Commonwealth title fight on a small hall show is serious going. So you've got to give a lot of credit to Black Pass Promotions. You're looking forward to getting on that card again there, Jack?
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, you know, the momentum's flowing. I'm improving. I'm you know, fighting. You know, like you said, decent fighters for where I want to be in my career, pushing on the titles, maybe end of this year, next year, you know, it's getting me out straight away. I'm been in the gym straight away, still on the diet, you know, and just dedicate myself, you know, every day to boxing.
Right, boys, one last question. Big fight, Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard. I want to know your prediction. Tom, I'm going to ask you first. Who wins that fight, the rematch?
I think Lyndon, I mean, especially if obviously he said it like he was hurting his right arm last time and he beat him with a jab. And I don't think Yard's got actually the skill that Lyndon's got. So I'm hoping that Lyndon beats him on points, you know, and just absolutely. But I hope this time he actually, you know, it could actually make Yard look very silly if he wants to, Lyndon. So I'm going to go for Lyndon on points.
Yeah.
I think, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of people out there who don't think Lyndon had an arm injury. He never threw his right hand, so he obviously had some type of injury. They popped him with a jab all night. I think Yard will come out fast. I reckon Lyndon will take him out later on. I reckon he'll throw the right hand later on and take him out. I think his jab is that good. Yard hasn't done anything for me to suggest he's going to be able to get past that jab. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, you know, people say he's going to smash him. He's already had a chance to, you know, Yard's already had a chance to smash Lyndon. He didn't do it first time. And even if Lyndon didn't have a bad hand, he's beat him with a jab, you know. And if, you know, I think Lyndon, you know, he's the champion. And I think he'll take him to bits, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, completely agree. I think Lyndon will take Yard out later on. Right, boys, thanks for your time. A little bit of connection issues, but it is what it is when you have a live. Looking forward to your fights. Best of luck, and I'll speak soon. All right, boys.
Thank you, Johnny.
Cheers, pal.
See you later, boys.
Cheers, thanks.
See you later, boys. Right, okay. I'm waiting for another two of Black Flash's prospects, Ethan King and Joe Morgan. Right, boys, can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hi, Joe, can you hear me, mate?
Yeah,
Joe,
I
how
can
are
hear
you?
Very good, thanks. Yourself?
Good. How was it in? Yeah, very good. How was it in sunny Wales? Is it sunny or what?
Never sunny over here. Terrible. I think
I
Ethan's
want to
having a
know.
few
So,
problems as well.
oh, I've had murder with everyone who I've had on this live stream tonight. The connection's just it's not been the best, but it is what it is. We'll go through. Wait till Ethan comes on. I want to talk about the your boxing gym, Mount Ash Boxing Club. It sounds like a health retreat, doesn't it? I don't know, mountains.
Mountain
But
Ash,
I
yeah.
bet it's not though. What's it like as a boxing gym? Tell me about it.
To be honest with you, the facilities are not great. Got a few dead
Yeah,
birds
that's what
and
you want now.
broken down walls. But
That's what
got
you
a
want
ring,
now.
it's got some bags. That's all you
Yeah.
need, really.
Yeah, that's what you want. So, Joe, welterweight prospect 2-0. You fought last week on the show that Pat put on, Rumble in Rainton. Tell me about the show last week. I spoke to the other boys. They say the production value, and we call it small hall shows because it's just a terminology. I call small hall show that doesn't have TV dates, basically, but it's a lot better than small hall shows. Good facilities, isn't it?
Yeah, well, to be honest, when we turned up to the arena, I was shocked. It was really
Yeah.
well set up, and yeah, they call it small old shows, but it wasn't very small in there.
It's true. It's so true that
quite a few people, and the setup, it was second to none, really.
it's good experience being on those cards at this point of your career because it's not. I said to the boys before, it's not in an old gym with a basketball net behind you. It's
Yeah.
it's a full on. It's an arena basically, and with lights, good entrance music. So, do you think that benefits you getting that experience?
Yeah, definitely. Everything is run perfectly. Like, you're not showing up to some, like you said, some old
Yeah,
rundown place, rundown boxing gym or whatever. Like,
yeah,
that's a lot of the time in the amateurs you do, don't you? But
yeah, 100%.
yeah, it's all experience, and it's building you for the bigger dates and the bigger arenas. Like,
So I want to talk about your 2-0, and your coach is actually your dad, Andrew Morgan.
yeah.
Now, to be honest with you, I have experience in seeing a coach and son boxing. There's a gym that I know, and the dad is a trainer and the son's a fighter. So I see the dynamics with that. If I didn't know them, I wouldn't know what it was like, to be honest with you. But everyone is different. Do you live with your dad? You still live with your dad?
No.
No. So when you did live with your dad, well, how long have you not? That sounds like. Did you have to get? Did you have to get away from him? Can't train and live at the same time.
It's a love-hate relationship between us, But he trains me every day, and I'm with him every day. But we got that time apart where we live, like, which
How long have you not
out.
lived? How long have you not lived with him for? Have you ever lived with him? Have you ever lived with
your dad? Properly a couple of years.
So what was it like in the household? What was it like in the household when your dad was training you? When you were living there, was it just full on boxing every second of every minute of every day, or would you switch off at times?
It's hard to say, really. It's a lot. 99% of it is boxing. Like, it's not really a lot of time to switch off. But we always watching boxing and learning new things. Like, but you say it's more balanced now. It's like we see each other every day in the gym, and we work the system out now, and it works good for us.
I know Ethan. Yeah, so I know Ethan, who we're trying to get on at the moment, another prospect from Black Flash. He obviously trains at your gym. I'm going to ask you this because I know for a fact that I bet your dad treats you differently. I bet he's harder on you than any others. So is that not the case? Because I speak to a lot of people and they say their dad are just harder than more than the other fighters. Or is that not the case?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, but thing is, with me and my dad, we have like we like to wind each other up a bit, and we
Yeah.
have a bit of banter and all that, which obviously we're serious, but it just
Yeah.
mellows it out a little bit. Like we can wind each other up, and and Ethan joins in on that, and then Ethan's dad Nathan, like we got a good little team going on, we got a good system going on as well.
Yeah, so Ethan's dad, Nathan, I know he was a fighter himself. Is he a trainer at the gym as well?
Yeah, well, the corner partnership is my dad, Andrew, and Ethan's father, Nathan, and as far as experience goes, he's got a lot. I think he had like 40 odd pro fights, and then obviously we got Di Gardner as well, which most boxers and boxing trainers will know. He's trained 3 world champions. He's another one on the team who's got massive amounts of experience and knowledge.
What's it like boxing growing up? Who were the people you looked up to? Obviously, Joe Calzaghe, Andrew McInerney are big fighters from your ends, but who were the fighters you looked up to growing up?
Calzaghe's obviously one. He was underrated, blistering hand speed. But to be honest with you, I like to watch a lot of Floyd Mayweather when I was younger.
Yeah.
I used to look up to him. I used to love him, and obviously one of the best to ever do it. And
do you ever study him?
I used to
study his fights.
I used to all the time, and now obviously I watch others now as well. But when I was growing up, he was bossing everything. He was the main man. So I used to watch all his fights. I used to watch everything about him, and even watching you learn a lot.
What is it? What do you do for sparring? Because do you ever go out of Wales? Do you ever come to Manchester? Do you ever come to other places? Or do you do all your sparring in Wales?
Well, we do most of it in Wales. Like for my last fight, I was sparring down St George, Newport. They got like Gavin Gwynn, Commonwealth champion, boys like that. Before my first fight, like there's a lot of talent in Wales. Joe Cordina was down. He was in Cardiff, so I've done a few rounds with Cordina.
Yeah. Oh, did you? When was that?
Yeah, quite a while ago. It was like a few weeks before my pro debut in Manchester. Yeah, I'd done a few rounds with Cordina.
Good sparring, that?
And he's quality. World champion this year, I think. Next year, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what it is though with Cordina. It seems like he's been around for ages. It just doesn't seem to.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Injuries and I think things.
Yeah. I think next year is going to be the year for him. He's a really good boy, and you don't really understand until you get in there with him how good he is. Oh, here he is.
Yeah. Just waiting for the king. He is actually a king this fight, isn't he?
Hello.
Literally. There he is. Ethan, can you hear me, mate? Can you hear me?
Really? Yeah, just about.
Connection everywhere today. I've had absolute murder with this stream. I don't know what it is. Ethan, how you doing, mate?
All right, yeah. Not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. 6'4" cruiserweight is you're a tall bloke. Watched your fight last week. Obviously, your pro debut on Pat's show. It is what it is. You're not going to fight someone who's going to win a world belt, are you? It's just to get the experience, get the first win out of the way. How did it go for you?
Yeah, it went pretty well. I wish it lasted a bit extra, but just had to take what I could for me.
Yeah. When are you next out?
You what, sorry?
When are you next out? When are you next going to fight? Are you going to fight in the card on Saturday?
I'm having time off at the minute with the family, and hopefully as soon as possible get back in the gym, start training again, and on for the next one.
I was having a bit of a joke with Joe about the gym because when I was doing research, it's called Mountain Ash Boxing Club. So as I said, it sounds like a health retreat. You can imagine mountains, birds, fresh air. But Joe just said it's basically just there's dead birds in there. There's rust everywhere. Proper old school
Oh yeah.
gym. Is that the case?
Oh yeah, it's awful.
What do you mean? It's all.
It is.
I love that though.
Oh, it's a shit show, if I'm honest.
Joe, you need to get the facilities sorted out. As you go up through the ranks, you need to get speak to your old
We'll get
man.
it sorted soon, I'm sure. We got what we
Well,
need.
you know what though? All joking aside, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was talking to the boys before, and with Pat's gym in the Collyhurst and Moston gym, that's 100 years old. So, like, it's a proper old school gym. I think it helps fighters being in that old school environment. And then as you go through the ranks, you know, you can get the new flashy bags and all that in a better gym. But do you think it actually helps you in a way? It keeps you grounded.
Well, I think at the stage we're at now, we got what we need. Like, we got a ring, we got bags, we can do our exercises, and obviously we do other stuff, running and all that. But what we got now is all we need at this minute. And obviously, like you say, as we go up and up, we can get better facilities. That's not crucial at this stage.
Yeah, it's true. So, Ethan, Joe told me that your dad is a trainer as well in the gym. So, both of your dads are there. How have you two known each other your whole life? What's the connection between you and Joe?
Well, his father sort of trained my father, and he sort of just all kicked off from there, really. Me and Joe sort of trained together.
Yeah.
So,
how long have you been training together for?
Who's that? Me and Joe?
Yeah.
Quite a while, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't like to say how long. What do you reckon?
Gotta be 6 years, is it? Something like that? Maybe even longer than that.
Yeah, something like that.
So you both were. What was the reasoning for turning pro? Like, obviously, were you amateurs before? Were you looking to go different ways? Like, what was the decision to go pro, and why?
Well, to be honest with you, our gym there's amateurs there, but our gym is a professional gym, and me and Ethan have obviously grown up training with all the professionals and training with Ethan's father, Nathan, and it's never, well, for me anyway, and I think for Ethan, I can speak for Ethan as well, it's trying to go a long way in the amateurs is not what we wanted. We both got good experience, we both won world titles and boxed during there, but obviously there's more money and there's more opportunities in the program.
Yeah, Joe, I wanted to ask you, your opponent last week, he's a journeyman, but he had, out of 107 losses, 108 losses, he's only had, I think only 2 people have stopped him. Something like ridiculous like that. I mean, I don't understand how. The man must be made of metal.
He's tough, man. I was throwing some big heavy shots at him, and I know I had him hurt. He even told me himself, and I thought he's going with it, but fair dues to him, like he stayed in it. And obviously from the normal point of view to someone, they look at him and they think, he's this and he's that, but they don't realise what a journeyman is. So
yeah, correct, because so he targets the body a lot. But people don't understand, like, when you're in the ring, if you hit a punch bag for 3 minutes, you're going to be tired. So it tires you out anyway. And just getting the rounds, yes, he's not going to throw much back, but it's just the fact that you're putting a lot into it. You want to take him out. Is there any point in that fight where you think, I'm not going to be able to get this bloke out, so I'm just going to box him? Or did you always think you could take him out even to the last bell?
I was building from the start. I was going up through the gears, and I thought I could get him out of there, and I knew I was close, and that's all was on my mind. I weren't thinking of just trying to box him. Every punch I was letting go was powerful, and you could hear it. And like I say, I take my hat off to Cass, because that's a very tough bloke.
Yeah, I agree. Ethan, when you when you got home after your win, it was you finished your opponent pretty quickly. What was the thoughts? Did you think, right, I know you're taking time out now, but you're thinking I'm going to get out before Christmas? Have you spoke to Pat about getting out, or what was the talk after the fight?
Well, I'd like to get at least another 2 fights before Christmas. I haven't really spoke to Pat yet, as like I said, I'm sort of on family time. But yeah, I'd like to get another 2 fights.
And that is achievable, because the shows that Black Flash Promotions are putting on is literally week by week. So that's definitely achievable. How, as I mentioned to the boys before this, how did you come about working for Black Flash Promotions and Pat? What was the conversation that led you to this point?
Well, really for me, it was sort of Joe. He sort of passed me his number, and we sort of went from there.
Yeah. Joe, how did you get involved with Pat? How did you end up getting involved with Black Flash Promotions?
Well, to be honest with you, I'd been training flat out and sparring. I was ready to fight, and I just was raring to get in there. And my father, he got a lot of contacts. He contacted Pat, asking about a fight for me, and Pat said, "Yeah, you can go on the show next week if he's ready." And my father said, "100%, I'm ready." I boxed on that show against Jamie Quinn for my first fight, and it all went from there really. And Pat was happy to have me again. He was happy to have Ethan, and yeah, that's it.
So I want to know the goals. I'm going to ask you, Ethan. What do you think you're going to get out of boxing? I know everyone says world champion, and some people might say British champion, but I don't know for yourself, what do you think is going to... You look in 10, 15 years' time, you look back at your career, what's going to be achieved, in your opinion?
I'd really like to achieve British champion. Maybe world, but you know, who knows? That's in the very distant future. But at the minute, I just want to focus on the next stage of the next opponent, and go from there.
Cruiserweight as well, and you've got Bridgerweight. So you've got Cruiserweight division is obviously with Usyk leaving, but you've got a Coley. I think he's going to go up to heavyweight soon. But Bradis, there's always Cruiserweight's always been a division where they've always had good fighters. I know it may sound silly but they've always had solid world champions. Andre McRanelli from Wales. Did you ever take anything from him? Did you used to watch him? Obviously, him being your weight, did you used to watch him as a kid?
No, not really. To be honest with you, I haven't watched anyone. I haven't seen any style of anyone. Sort of just
really.
Andrew sort of taught
from
me.
Your old man.
Yeah, sort of took stuff from my man, from Joe's father, Andrew, and we sort of that went from there. Just us, three of us. Like,
do you never look at fights or fighters and say, well, I could use that off him, or does that never come into your mind? Or
once or twice, but there's no real point. I've learned off two tidy trainers, so I may as well just listen to their advice.
What's the main things you've learned off Joe's dad, Andrew?
For one, don't lip him. You'll end up having a smack with him. Yeah, just that mainly, because he will end up giving you a clip.
There's a lot of banter going on in your gym. What's the main banter? Who's the instigator? Joe tells me it's you, but I don't know.
I'll find anyone up.
Joe, tell me the type of banter that goes on. I like to hear it. I like to know what goes on in these gyms.
We just rip shit into each other, to be honest with you. About anything and everything.
Is it good about good? Go on.
Yeah, it's like I said, we have our moments where he tells us why he's up now and get serious, but it's good to have a joke and a laugh sometimes. It's even just before we was both fighting, when we was getting our hands wrapped, we were both in our mood then, and he had to tell us like, "Come on now," but you know, it's just we just relaxed going into it, and that's how it is. Oh, he's gone.
Hey.
Just has to eat.
We'll have a laugh anyway on our own.
We two went. We two went.
That's on a need to know basis, and roughly you don't need to know.
I'm watching Bray.
Yeah.
What's going on there, then, Bat?
I don't know.
Don't worry, guys. Johnny's coming back in now. Technical kind of kicked him out.
Yeah, nobody's.
You nearly ran it yourself, innit? So there you go. 2 minutes.
We couldn't get on yet. You could do just now.
No, it won't let.
Hi, boys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You know what it is? Because my computer's just not working. So I'm using. Are you both using your mobile phones?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I've got it stacked up on like cereal boxes, bloody egg boxes. So it keeps dropping down. Swear to you. What we're talking about, yeah. So we talk about the banter between you two. I think that's good to have, like, because you've got to have that. Because I think going through your boxing journey, like, I think if you acted differently before your fights, I think that wouldn't be. It wouldn't be right, would it?
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, say, boxing is such a serious sport. It's good to have that banter between us. You know, like me and good buddies, and the same my old man and Nathan. Like I said, when we went our hands wrapped, we were all ripping into each other, and you know, all having a good crack, and that's the best way to be, I think.
Tell me, last week, it surprises me how many fighters don't actually watch boxing because they've got fights. And would you say you're big boxing fans, both of you?
I like to watch a bit of boxing myself.
Tell me, last week, Fury and Wilder, did you watch it live?
I didn't watch it live. I can't do that time in the morning, me.
You know what?
No, same, yeah.
You know, it does ruin it. You know, when you're up all night, it's like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, there's just so many fights on last week. It was like there was Smith Fowler. You had the one in Birmingham. You had obviously you guys were fighting. So I think I had a few hours sleep. But when I watched it live, I can't tell you, boys, I've never seen a heavyweight fight, or even a boxing fight, where the edge of your seat stuff from the first round to the last. Like, I don't know if you knew the results. Did you watch it without knowing the results?
I seen the results and then I watched afterwards. You know, and even knowing the result is still a quality fight. You know, like I said, one of the best heavyweight fights probably ever.
What do you think, Ethan? What do you think looking at that fight? Do you think it was any technical aspect to it? Or do you think it was just an absolute dogfight?
Well, I haven't really watched it all. I've watched a bit of the highlights, that's all.
Really? You know what?
Yeah,
mate.
Looked like a dogfight.
I mean, Wilder took an absolute beating, the bloke. Got fair play to him for taking that kind. I mean, the condition he must have been in to take that. Do you think? Do you see Usyk from cruiserweight? Do you think he can cause him any trouble? I mean, you being a cruiserweight yourself, Ethan. How big is a jump from cruiserweight to heavyweight?
Oh, it's a big jump, but once you reach that stage in your career that you're ready to make that jump, then it's sort of easier. Yeah, I would say. But I think Usyk could take the whole division, the whole heavyweight division.
You think he can beat Fury?
I think he give him a run for his money. In all honesty.
Yeah, I think. I just think Fury's too big. I know AJ was big, but we all know he didn't fight like how a heavyweight should do. And AJ isn't Fury. I think Fury's too big for him, because I think what impresses me about Fury is he can make it a dogfight just as much as he can box. Do you know what I mean? If he needs to get down in the trenches, you've seen him. He'll lean on you, and it's like a bar fight. You know, he'll just put everything on you.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joe? Do you think Usyk could beat Fury?
No, like you said, the size of Fury, and he is a technically gifted boxer, whereas AJ is not. And like he fought that fight, in my opinion, completely wrong. But like I said, I think Usyk is a man down. I think it's Fury then Usyk. I think them two are the best, but I can't see anyone getting near Tyson Fury, to be honest with you. Like we said, his size, he lean on you, he's big, and he's a great boxer. So I don't think anyone will be able to get near him.
What are you looking to achieve in your boxing career, Joe? What do you think? What's the ultimate goal for yourself, and what do you think will be achieved?
Well, to be honest with you, like I've only had 2 fights to start my career, but obviously everyone wants our British title, don't they? And that's obviously a goal of mine, and the same as I'd imagine most every boxer from Britain. But I want our belt,
Yeah,
and then I want to move on to world honours. I'm not in it to mess about. Like I'm going to give it my all, and we'll see what happens.
you're both in the gym tomorrow morning.
What's the day tomorrow? I don't know what day it is.
Monday to it. Sunday evening
I can
tonight.
imagine. I can imagine. Worst day of the week, Monday. But
Are you both in at the same time, or do you come in different?
Well, we don't normally train together, but obviously with work purposes with Ethan, we have to train at different times. But yeah, we train together a lot of the time.
What's Christmas like for you boys? Obviously, no one wants to be weight cutting and fighting in January. Did you indulge a bit over Christmas, or did you keep yourself too much turkey?
Yeah.
What about you, Ethan? Do you getting stuck into the old Christmas turkey?
Oh, my plate, you don't know whether to eat it or cry, mate.
I bet. Right, boys. Good to see you. Good to speak to you. A bit of connection issues, but it is what it is. I wish you the best of luck with your careers. We'll see you on plenty of Black Flashy shows in the future, building yourself up. You don't mind fighting in the North, do you? You don't mind? Do you mind fighting in Manchester? Do you think it's a good experience for you getting around the UK, getting your face round?
Yeah, of course, build our name up. Other places other than Wales. Anyway, wherever the show is, we'll travel.
Yeah, same with you, Ethan.
Yeah.
Good to get your face round these places.
Yeah, it's really good. Get kind of a backing behind you when so everyone recognises your name and everything.
Yeah. All right, boys. Right, boys. Speak to you soon. Take care. All the best.
See you soon, fella. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Right, so they're jumping off. As I say, a few connection issues. My camera, I can't tell you. As I mentioned, it's stacked on cereal boxes, egg boxes, because for whatever reason, my computer just isn't working today. So a bit of a nightmare with that. But tune into Black Flash Promotions this Saturday, Destruction in the Dome. Carly Skelly, Commonwealth title fight, super bantamweight. Big going on a small hall show, so we've got to give Pat a lot of credit for getting that over the line. So that's this Saturday in Liverpool. Tickets go on Black Flash Promotions YouTube channel, go on Instagram, go on Twitter, Facebook. Just type them in anywhere, you'll be able to get tickets. And we'll speak to you soon. See you later.